interesting statistic. Everybody know what the graduation rate from college is? 60 to 70%. What's the graduation rate from any professional school? Like medical school?
Like half that.
95 to 98%.
Really?
Really?
So what's the difference?
Discipline.
Desire.
Professional schools are very good at identifying,
Qualify.
sort of pre-qualifying what they're looking for, the people they're looking for, and I've actually done some work with UCSD School of Medicine on the admissions committee to do this why, what, or why, how, what. Why do you want to be a doctor? So you get really clear on your why. What is that why, and then why is that important? You know, what's that going to mean to you going forward? Have you done the prep work in college so you know what you're getting into and know what the process is? And then what is it, once you become a doctor, is that the beginning of the journey, or are you still just a beginning student? Because people who think that's the end of the journey, not so good. People, if that's just the beginning, that's important. So think about all those things between yourselves. And the other thing that makes professional schools very, once the student gets in, they all graduate, is mentorship. In medical school, every student's assigned as a upper class student as a mentor, sort of like your business coach, and they all have a faculty mentor, like your business leader. And they check in with those people at least once a quarter. So all those things are really important. So when Denise and I started the business, we got really clear talking to each other about when she came home from national conference, all fired up about going global. And I asked, what is that? We dove into, really did a lot of research, went to every meeting we could attend. Had a meeting with, and you guys may not remember this, but once we got really clear on what we wanted to do, why we wanted it, why it was important to us, then we met with Gary and Whitney and Greg together, and we really sort of spent the time to really dive down into our one-year goal, which was getting global, but also breaking it down into what was the next step for the next couple of months, because going global is a big thing, but it starts with, we are executive director, what's the next step? The next step was getting executive director both ways,
right,
we talked about them, executive by structure, and we had a time frame, because at that time, Sundance, the qualification was executive director both ways, so that was our goal, was to get to Sundance, which we made, and then what's the next goal? So each goal, break it into small steps, one baby step at a time, but the key things, keeping in contact with your mentors, keep that structural tension thing updated, attend every conference, because that's where you're learning all the skills to move you to the next step, and can talk to people who are at the same level you are and move forward with.
And was there anything that you had to, I remember you guys had to make some changes?
Yeah, and then the other thing is, in terms of letting go of time and important things, when your goal is really good, and that's why professional schools graduation rates are really high, is when the goal is really important to you, getting rid of the non-essentials is really easy. So going at home and not watching TV, we had this sort of two-murder rule about the news. Turn off the news once there's 2 murders, which makes it about 15 minutes.
Wow.
So you're not listening to it for 3 hours and repeating the same thing over and over again, and then getting, not watching the other TV. So we'd spend a couple hours each night, and half of one weekend day would take you for life. 7 months, global.
Congratulations.
One of the things that when I started coaching, this was about 5 years ago now, I was not clear. I was teaching school. I had 3 consecutive part-time jobs in Poway School District. I was also doing about 4 volunteer jobs through my church, and also tutoring and teaching outside of school as well. So my plate was, I had children at home, and it was just going crazy basically. And then I added Take Shape for Life to my plate, and I was like that lady going crazy with the balls in the air, trying not to drop anything. And my husband kept saying, "You need to give something up. You need to give something up. You're going crazy." But my problem was, I loved everything I was doing, even though I know it was too much. I couldn't decide what to give up. I had a hard time making that decision. So through a Take Shape for Life training one day, Greg led me through the structural tension. He helped me to clarify my why, and this is why we were so focused on the why. And I realized that what I really wanted, after uncovering all these layers of my possible whys, we actually got down to the fact that what I really was looking for was time freedom. And once the light bulb
And
went
why
on,
did you want time freedom?
so that I could, my dream, and it still is my dream, is that I could put a little sign on my RV and go all over the country. I'm going to call it the health coach. And I'm going to drive all over the country and share Take Shape for Life everywhere I go, plus, visit all the friends and family and just enjoy my life with my husband and my dog. Anyway, and I've done little bits of that, but I want to do more of that. Anyway, but I couldn't do that because I was tied to so many schedules that weren't under my control. So once that clarified in my mind, it was like the light bulb went on, and I suddenly realized that I had to give up anything that tied me to a schedule that wasn't under my own control. So I gave up my 3 part-time jobs in the school district. I gave up all my church volunteering for a season. Excuse me. And I still kept my tutoring and my teaching on the side because that's under my control. And then I had a lot more time to devote to Take Shape for Life. And then I started discovering how wonderful it was. And one of the things also that expanded my vision, it changed everything for me. The first year I was doing Take Shape for Life, I only had about 4 clients. And I could never get to senior coach. I was always struggling to get there. But once I went to convention, national convention, and heard Dr. A talking about his big vision for the country, getting America healthy, it suddenly took me out of my little narrow focus. And I suddenly embraced the bigger vision. And every time I go to one of these events, it expands more and more. My vision enlarges every time. And I always think, okay, what's going to happen this time? But something always does. Something always changes in my perspective. And so if you haven't signed up for a national convention, I would urge you to do that. It's a really wonderful game changer for so many things. And anyway,